Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my February TBR. I am excited to talk about this. I have about 6 to 7 books that I plan on trying to read this February. I am trying to stick to a more strict TBR schedule because I do want to read the books that I mentioned in my 25 books I want to read in 2025 video. That being said, it can be difficult, especially when there's like new releases coming out or there's books that just tickle my fancy and I see them and I'm like, oh, I want to read that, and I just pick it up. I am a mood reader, so I do like to try to give myself a good array of genres or just plots, themes, whatever. So first we're going to talk about the book that I'm currently reading right now, which is the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. This book I am thoroughly enjoying. I'm only 30 pages in. I know it's not very far, but I love Lord of the Rings. I love the movies. I love The Hobbit, like the movies. I have not read The Hobbit, so it's on my list to read all of the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit book this year. So we're gonna read this. I started this at the end of January, so I'm not very far in, so that's why it's gonna be a February TBR. And I'm also only like reading it at night on my Kindle right now because I am prioritizing Onyx Storm. I don't have like a lot of time in the day to just sit and listen to my audiobook or read, especially when it's like a fantasy book. I feel like if I try to work, I can't pay attention. So I just, yeah, anyways. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. I think it's gonna be a fun read. Another book that I am excited about is Rebel Witch. That will be released in February. I can't remember the exact date, but that's the second book to Crimson Moth, and it's a duology. So it's obviously wrapping up the series. I cannot wait to read that. If you love like witchy fantasy vibes, this book is so much fun. It's so fast paced. I read it so quick. You can get it on Kindle Unlimited. Oh, it's so good. And I'm so excited to see what happens in the second book. So that's high on my list to read. The next book I have is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I don't know anything about this book. I just go into Emily Henry books blind because I feel like they're more fun that way. I have this one left in Happy Place, and then I'm caught up until she releases her new book this year, but I do have the audiobook for this, so that's why I'm gonna listen/read it before Happy Place. But I'm excited about this. I hope that I love it. I really like Emily Henry's writing, so I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, let's see what else we got. The next book we can talk about is Namesake, which is by Adrienne Young. This is the second book to Fable. I originally thought this was a duology, but when I looked it up, they were like, oh, but it's been turned into a trilogy. And I was like, oh, because I thought I'm one more book from finishing it. Like, I'll be done with it. No. I apparently will have to read another one. I decided I might see how this book ends, and then if I want to continue on, I will. But I'm gonna kind of just classify this as a duology for right now. But I'm excited about this. Fable was a lot of fun. I read that in January and I really loved it. But I'm excited to read Namesake and like see where the story goes. I think I'm gonna like this book maybe better. Just saying. Next we have The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This is kind of like a retelling of Aladdin, but it is with a girl, I don't know how to say her name. Luli? And she's a criminal who basically hunts and sells illegal magic, but she ends up saving this cowardly prince, and the dad finds out, which he's like a very powerful sultan, and he basically blackmails her into trying to find this ancient lamp. And I guess she goes on this journey with his oldest son. The second book comes out this year. It took her like 2.5 years to write the second book, and this is supposed to be a trilogy, so I have no idea when the third book will come out, but I love books that are set in the desert, so I am pumped to read this. I am pumped. I think it's going to be such a good time. The next book we have is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I have the audiobook for this one as well, and I really love Ali Hazelwood's books. I find them really fun. I didn't love her last one she released, Not in Love. I did listen to her new audiobook that's out though, and it was really cute, but I'm not gonna read Deep End by her. I just don't care about a diver and a swimmer. Like, reading about sports romances are not my thing, so I'm just not going to. But this is the last one I'm gonna read by her unless she releases something that's, you know, sparks my interest. But other than that, I've always loved her writing. She was an auto-buy author, but not anymore. So, but I'm excited. I think I'm gonna love this book. And also I think it'll be perfect for February. It's so cute. All right, the last book we have to talk about, this is a big one. It's a big one. It's not thick, but it's a big one. It's Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I am pumped to start this series. I know there's a ton of different, like, what is there, like 16 books in the series, and they're broken into trilogies. I bought the first book and I'm so excited to read this. I think it's gonna be so fun to get into just some high fantasy. I love reading Brandon Sanderson. Obviously I'm reading Tolkien, which is high fantasy, but I'm excited to dip my toes in Robin Hobb. I've heard amazing things about her, and so many people rave about this series. It's a long one, so I'm just gonna take my time with it, but I'm excited to start this, and I'm excited to see what I think. I think we follow a guy named Fitz, and we follow him at a young age, and I think all the books follow him throughout his life, like as he's growing up. I think he's 8 years old in this. I've heard though that he is just like human. He makes mistakes. His story is heartbreaking. I'm just excited to see what it's all about. So I cannot wait to read this. But I think those are all the books that I'm gonna try and read in February. It just kind of depends from month to month. I try to read, you know, between like 5 to 7 books, but obviously some books, sometimes I read more, sometimes I read less. It just depends on life, right? So I sometimes change my books I'm gonna read because I am a mood reader, but this is kind of what I'm planning. So we'll see if I stay on board. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.